For reals.
And I going to the Magic game on Thursday.
Oh, neat. So, what's the weather prediction? Well, I'll let you tell it on the thing, because I know you're going to.
And you can pop into that up there if you want, and we can
Hang on, little lady. Come here. I know. Everybody needs loving. You need loving, too. Yeah, that's a good girl. Okay. Okay, now. All right. Let's see what we got tonight. Gonna make it feel right. I better put my phone on nothing mode. Beep. Airplane mode. So don't be a chode. Stay in airplane mode. That's good in my neighborhood. I got some cola tips and a shoot from the hips. I did off the lips on my surf trips. Oh, you're not gonna forget the Book of Reason this time.
yeah, I'm trying to get one before I lose my train of thought.
Before you lose your soul train of thought.
Boom. I'm ready for that.
Whoops.
I got a joke idea.
Yes, I love jokes.
Yes.
I got a joke too.
Do you?
I got a joke.
I got some good jokes.
Ooh, I love this part of it.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's way cool.
I want to get some new, I think those salts may probably get old after a while. And I've been, every day I freaking open it at least once. And try to get somebody to try it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it is. How about this? I'm going to start this off before we do anything and just throw my little haymaker surprise at you real quick. What is this, Steve?
It's from the Task and Ford Tracker cassette stuff from back in the early 90s.
Let me listen to this the other day. Yesterday, day before.
Yeah, we're going to release this.
I love it. You on the ears?
Yep. This summer. Best vibes.
I want you to hear it in the headset. And I want you to kind of get a feel because what you did was perfect. What I was talking about, you exactly executed.
Yeah, you put me to it.
And it was
cool.
Badass. Episode 210. 210.
Just the mic.
Tuesday night.
Feeling right.
Keeping our buttholes tight.
Just got your contract cut. No, that's in like 3 nights. Deck of cards.
Yeah.
Yep. Fan it out.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Adjust the Mic podcast, episode 210, 210. Had a lot of fun last week there, Thad.
Same.
Yeah, it was
Same.
a lot of fun.
Big time.
Obviously, it's T and I again tonight. It's a Tuesday night. What's the date? It is 21st.
Is it?
21st, yes. 21st.
Okay.
Dude, I'm dealing with my homeowner's insurance right now. We got all this cold weather happening right now. Like insurance, they're trying to give me like over 7K right now. Last year I wasn't up that high.
Squeeze.
So now I'm like trying to play the battle. What you up to, man? How's everything going?
Going really good. I just, I today's weather, if you're not from right around here, is Central Florida. It's pretty raw. It's wet. It's gonna stay like drizzly, kind of
For how many days?
like tres. I think 3 days, and then we're gonna get a cold spike. But
Yep.
it's good. I saw that the level of the St. John's is up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just noticeably up.
Is there any kind of warning, or has there been any kind of heads up on what's going on with that?
No, I think it's good. Fat river in the winter in case we have a dry spring. But I glanced it and I was like, wow, that's up.
Yeah.
A lot of, and the ground is nice and saturated for fires to get quelled. They can't run across the leaf litter.
Like our normal everyday yards are just loving all of this. During this time of year too, it's been kind of dry for a little while, and so the rain has been kind of few and far between here lately.
And you get the weird plants that you don't get all the time, like there's some kind of algae. What is it? It's kind of the lichen mixed with the algae. It's kind of looks like jelly. It's alive.
Is that the lichens? Do they live in the sewers, and are they
Not that
are they
kinda lichen.
do they fight vampires?
Not the wolves, but the lichen. It means it grows at night, right? It's that
Yep.
green stuff that grows on the shady side.
Yeah.
But there's something that it's like that. I'm gonna bring a piece of goo next time.
Okay.
A cooler.
I want to see the goo, and I'll bring a vampire. I'll bring a Dracula blood.
Great.
We'll see if what they do. Dude, look how big Silas is now, man. I was just talking about it. I had to take him to school this morning. What's going on, man? Hold on, I don't have an extra mic to throw at you, but you want to talk? Talk to Thad real quick. Hold on.
Huh?
Hey, have you ever heard of a plant called a sundew?
No, I've not heard of that.
If you're lucky, you might see one in the winter when it's cold like this. It looks like a Venus flytrap that's splayed out with like five flytrap deals on one like palm-sized thing. It's like a red, and you'll see it on the ground. It's that's my 2 cents for today.
That seems really cool.
It is. It is.
You want to brag about what you did yesterday?
Oh, what you did?
What happened?
Oh yeah.
You smoked your dad in chess. for the
I
10th
beat my
time.
dad really badly in chess.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's out there now.
And aren't you in a chess competition right
Yeah,
now?
I'm actually in a chess tournament. I'm 3-0 right now. I don't know if I'm gonna win the tournament, but I feel like I have a good chance in at least getting top 3.
Yeah, my money is on you.
I think it's pretty badass. I think it's just awesome.
It
dude.
is.
It's
super cool.
first time we played. Like he was like, "Yeah, I play on my app a little bit. I play on the phone, but that's about it." And I kind of handled my business pretty easily.
Because you
And-
taught him kind of, right?
And
beginning?
but then we didn't play for a little while, and we caught up, and he whooped me like 3 times in a row, and caught me off guard. It was right after a podcast episode, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm like, okay. I made every excuse in the book, and I went and kind of learned on what he was doing, and I kind of figured out how to beat it. And then I've been steadily winning ever since, probably 4 or 5 matches, 6 matches. And he tells me about this tournament, so we sit down to play. And at first, I was kind of whooping you. And all of a sudden, he flipped the switch on me and kind of surprised me on a couple things. And I went, oh, damn. And pretty much I had to concede to him, and he had me done. He had me all the way down to my king and a pawn left.
Just wrapped it up.
And handled his business. So I'm excited to see what he does in this tournament.
Same.
Kind of cool, man. Got any final words here before T and I take over this episode?
Hopefully My dad never beats me after that match.
So are you saying?
Hopefully, I'm the king of the house in chess.
The gauntlet has been thrown down.
I mean, is that all the trash talking you got?
Mm,
You want to give me some heat? You want to throw some real trash talking at me? Go ahead.
um, I just want to be the chess guy throughout my life.
Okay.
Just knowing that I'm good at chess, you know.
Okay. Look how sweet that trash talk was. That was so good,
It's
dude.
a gentleman's trash
Such a
talk.
gentleman, dude. Don't want to be mean, but
But
I
it is
mean,
what it is.
I'm the king of Mario Kart. So obvious. No, he kicks my butt in Mario Kart. You win consistently. I win the very first or second game, and then I don't win another one after that. But I have fun playing that with you too, man. Heck yeah. But so yeah, man. So the weather's been a little bit wild today. I was kind of I had to get some blood work this morning, and I forgot my paperwork. So I checked in there, and I was like, "Oh man!" It was at 7 o'clock this morning. Later, Silas. I love you, dude.
Later, brother.
Uh, had to go check in, and I was like, "Oh man, I forgot my paperwork, my blood work paperwork."
Yep.
I'm like, it wasn't in my car. It wasn't at the office. I came home to pick up Silas because it was raining out, drop him off at school over in Madison. And it was too late now, but it was on my damn refrigerator. So
Stuck
I had to
with
get
the
that
moment.
rescheduled. So I was kind of back and forth this morning, like 8, 9, 10, 11, just back and forth, in this weather.
Oh,
And it was really cold outside,
it's just raw.
just cold.
It takes it right out of you.
It
Takes the
it,
heat
it
out.
kind of reminds you of like an early winter up in like when I lived in Kentucky. You get that Ohio Valley, and you just get that real like a lot of wind. And when you get out in the wind, you really feel that cold. My brother and all them were dealing with that up in Kentucky. It's pretty
Right.
gnarly.
Yeah, Jonas told me it was 19 this morning.
On the I-10 in Pensacola, it's like snow. In Louisiana on the beaches, there's like a foot of snow.
Wow.
Yeah,
And Ryan, I just sent you the videos from out west.
the wildfires. Is that like where he works? He was on top of like a building in Los Angeles area, or?
Yeah, he was on top of a, is it Bloomingdale's?
Mm-hmm.
He was on top of one of them, and that's what he was seeing right there.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
eating up that hillside.
Jeez, dude. I mean, it was the whole hillside was just gone.
Yeah.
It's almost like you'd almost want to control burn it or something
Before that, yeah.
before it gets so bad or something. I mean, Florida, I feel like we do a fairly good job on doing most of that kind of stuff, don't we?
Yeah, and now is the time of year after these nice soaking rains when you can kind of parcel it off and selectively burn it when the wind's doing the right thing. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, they got to come up with some kind of fire management out there at least.
it's complex and
Big
more
time.
people, more trees, more plants, more money, more.
Big time.
Yeah.
No doubt. So yeah, on this episode, man, I was thinking we'd go a little nostalgia.
Let's do it.
We actually prepared. We have some notes here.
I saw the list.
I'm gonna grab one of those with you.
Here you go.
Yeah.
One moment. Un momento, por favor.
Let's throw a little prank in here. Dad's walking away, so I'm gonna throw this in.
I gotta have a big old stack of pillows if I'm asleep with a dude.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Who is this? Yeah, I want to know who this is right now. Who the hell are you? Let me ask you a question. Why are you calling my girlfriend in the middle of the night? I think you got the wrong number, buddy. Don't make excuses, boy. You tell me who you are. Let me tell you something. Don't deny it, boy. I'm a 70-year-old man. You better tell me the
I don't
truth
call
right now.
women
Black
in
belt.
the middle of the night.
don't even know what I'm talking about. And if you fuck so with me right now, you are getting me frustrated. Come get me,
That's
boy.
the one,
Come
huh?
get me. Stop
Isn't that
yapping and listen. How long and I will kill you. I'm a fucking
It's a
Marine.
75-year-old,
Really?
Oh,
And I'm a
20-degree black
fucking
belt.
pep-free black belt, and I will kill you. Who the fuck are you, you fucking little piece of shit fucking scumbag?
Sparky.
Call me like this shit? I'll fucking kill you, motherfucker. You ain't never met
Harsh.
nothing.
Johnny, I love you, dude. God,
Yeah, we love
that's so
John.
good. Love you, man.
I seen a roundhouse kick somebody in the head once.
Did you?
Yeah, but it was playful, and his buddy caught it with his,
When I first when my father and he was over at my house and we did that prank, man, it was the funniest stuff ever, man. He I didn't really know he was really a black belt. I didn't know all those things that he was saying were real.
Yoshikai
Okay.
with Pops and Gator Bill, Rob.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
famous alligator.
That's who I first met of the Rob family.
Frank Rob.
Yep.
But Uncle Bill, yeah, he did Yoshikai with
Okay.
everybody from Titusville. Had a real core like karate deal, and they still got it going on. I think Ricky Copeland.
Not the Dragon Steamboat?
Say it again.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat?
Oh no, not that. Different Ricky. Ricky Copeland. He was part of that Galaxy Metals crew back in the day.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
There was Summers and Hobbit and
Yeah, and Schmitty.
Schmitty. Wasn't there some
Schmitty.
guy across the street? They call it Skeletor. Like I always remember hearing that name. Like
I don't know if I remember Skeletor.
I don't even know him. I just heard the name float and thought it was cool.
No, Super Dave Osborne.
I'll buy that for $1.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm in.
Okay. Nostalgia.
Okay. He got a list.
Okay, I got a list. We didn't have to hit all of them. I just kind of wanted to see if any of them stuck out and see what we wanted to kind of do with it.
I got something for all of them.
Let's go with the Saturday childhood morning rituals. What did you used to do in your childhood as a ritual?
On the most of like super young, up to teens and stuff was a lot of like get up and go to the beach with the family, and a couple of frozen gallon jugs of water and all the hubbub and the zinc oxide.
So, how old is T at this point?
Age 2 through like 12.
So back in your like 10, 11, 12, were you guys taking milk jugs back then and filling them up with water and freezing them?
And then they'd last all day. And
yeah, it's you do not see like Playalinda Beach, P-Land as the Titusville Beach here. We spent this past weekend. We went out to Playalinda Beach and just took some photos and everything on Saturday. Pier 2 and Pier 4 were being worked on.
Is it still closed at 7?
We didn't even try to drive past 4. We just went to 3 and got out, and a lot of families, a lot of fishermen, beautiful water, perfect weather Saturday.
Sweet.
And just took some great. Allie's got a new camera, and we took both our cameras out there and just kind of had some fun. And man, we had a great time with that. But that's back in the day. Playalinda Beach means a lot to me, nostalgia wise. When my mother and them were like teenagers, that's where they went. My Aunt Sherry, who we use as a prank call on this show all the time, that's my cousin Mike Anello, that's his mother. They would all hang out at the beach, at 5 and 6, where all the guys were surfing, where you were surfing, where just everybody was hanging out with my Uncle Gary. And I'd come visit, over the summers and stuff with my father, and we'd be at the beach fishing. My Uncle Gary would be surfing. We'd be out there. My mother, all the photos growing up is me laying on the beach with her, or her pregnant with pictures of me, And so just that's the place, And that's where I want to be, thrown out, at the end of,
Cool.
existence,
Sprinkled.
Yeah, that's where my Uncle Mike is, and a lot of other people we know.
Pops,
Yeah,
my pops.
he's there.
Yeah.
See, that's where we go. You know, it's it's just an amazing place. I learned how to fish there. I learned how to surf between there and Cocoa Beach. Um, uh, Everything. We in high school we walked all the way past the nude people because you could walk on that little four-wheeler path,
Back trail. Yeah.
and there was a barge out there,
That's the old A1A.
and it's like I think we timed it. We would never go over the dunes to look. They just said you walk for like almost an hour,
Yeah, 45.
45 minutes. Yeah, you're right. It's 45 minutes you walk, and when you get there, you just the dune just opens up where you could walk over it and you'll see it, and you're right there. And sure enough, we did, and we fished there the first time. We caught. We all had backpacks, and we all had our fishing rods and all that. Just all the way get out there, dude. We were catching redfish that were just like 27 to 36, dude, perfect size. Spotted sea trout, sheephead that were just monsters. Just right there off the barge that was in the middle. I mean, the barge sticks out like 6, 7, 8 feet out of the water, and it's right in the beach almost. And when the tide comes in, it's a little deeper, and all the fish come into it. And
The reefers. The
and
reef fish.
the second time we went down there, some surfers were down there surfing that little break off of it. So we kind of had one side and they had the other side, and that was pretty cool.
It's a cool little novelty, and the walk down there is, yeah.
It's a little gnarly, though, because when you're out there and you're like, teenagers, 17, 18, and 16, just getting our driver's license, going out fishing, right? You'd be down there and, you're giggling because you think you're going to see a dick or you're going to see some big old, big titties or something, And so you're down there at the end, and all of a sudden you'll start seeing like a little flesh dot. And that flesh dot starts slowly getting bigger, and you're like, oh, shit, I wonder if they're going to make it all the way down here. And you're like, just don't look, man. Just don't look. And then you're like, dude, Larry, you're looking. You looked. You saw his dick from here.
Yeah, me and Andre and Craig was out in
dude.
November, and since they capped it at 7, it squished it down to 7. It was a pack up. It was like like you said.
So you went down there and got nude with them?
No, I was just checking the waves, and it was like, pushed it way down to 7. There's like family here, and
I heard that there was a little, like on the interwebs, you heard on the social interwebs,
it was mellow.
you heard some people going, there were dicks over here and kids over there.
Yeah, but there wasn't no like weird stuff. It was mellow.
Not like I made it sound just now.
Yeah, suntans.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, our beach. It's very unique with just the dry, and right now it's bird season.
Oh, it's great out there.
So we were in line, and it's quick, man. I don't mind that whole little setup that they have for getting out to the beach. I know it was better when it wasn't there and you could just drive right out there, and it was all packed, and I loved it like that. But I don't mind having the park service there now, and the guy there. I love the dudes that work behind there. Like, you get to know them because you see them all the time.
Yeah.
There's the one guy with the black hair long, and it's dyed. It's dyed, and he's been there forever, dude. He's me and Allie's favorite.
Cool.
We love that guy, man.
And then you got the Black Point Wildlife Drive. It's a great Sunday cruise, and the other side of it.
And it's getting busier too.
Because it's cool to take a ride when it's nice weather.
It's perfect doing that Black Point drive because it's long. When you're not either behind someone or someone isn't always riding your butt, like trying to push you along. You know what I mean? Because it gets a little annoying sometimes.
Got to do a wave by, yeah.
Like, and because people just come right up on your butt and like tell you, like, move practically. And you're kind of like, dang, dude, like, are we out here to
Mellowing out, yeah.
take our time, man?
Yeah.
But man, I love that. It's so nice out there. We're so lucky to have that. And I hate to see us lose it. I've been seeing how they've extended Parish Park all the way. And it's really just like maybe a half a dozen parking spaces now. And then you could just drive and not stop. You know what I mean? So, like, and then it's a walkway on right on the water.
Yeah, I guess.
So it's like not really the same anymore.
You can't drive on it, which is probably cool.
Yeah, that's cool. But you can't really have like a hangout there anymore.
No.
You know what I'm saying? To where like you can like it used to be just rode up
Pull
with
over.
concessions and
People.
people in the water and put the pop up tents up, and that was kind of cool, man. I don't know.
No, that was cool.
I guess it'll still happen in Pepper, deeper back or maybe around the edge when you kind of come into that little, how you can kind of drive to the what is it, Turtle Road and all those little
on the right.
those little access roads that
Oh,
right when you get
The
over
right
the
side
bridge.
is bitchin'.
Yeah, it's like Gator Creek or
Yep.
in Turtle Creek and
Yeah, I went out there and saw some dolphins. Me and Waz
yeah,
went
it's
out
beautiful out there. That's where my dad used to take me as a kid. I was out there just driving around, finding like Dummit Cove. It's where all the Boy Scouts and all that used to be, hanging out over there,
Yep.
doing all their little camp outs and
all those
everything.
backwaters.
Or Hulliver Canal. And,
That song that you played a clip of,
mhm.
the old piece from the jams.
Yeah.
When I hear that, I kind of catch that vibe of like just the landscape out there with the sweet wind blowing on it.
Yeah,
it's
man.
a nice day.
Had some really cool memories out there, man. Just fishing, spending time. Remember when I remember a hurricane came through and there was a certain access that you could take out there. It was like Pearl Island or one of those little spots. And it was like where my dad always took me to fish with a Mike Beck. And there was like 5 or 6 Rick Heine, a bunch of people that, would Johnny Dietz would come meet us. Tim Mulvaney, I don't know if you remember that old name. We'd every summer I'd come for like a week or spring break or whenever, and we either were at the beach or we were
In the
out
back-
there
yeah,
in
backwaters.
yeah, just doing it, man, just having fun, catching fish and doing the whole thing.
You know what? I'm gonna cherry top that with, and I hope it's still valid, but I think now they have a couple showers out there at Dummit, and that's pretty cool.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
So Saturday morning ritual. Did we?
I kind of,
Beach.
I
Okay.
feel like we kind of rabbit holed that one off into a better nostalgia topic with Playalinda. But like when you were a kid, you'd wake up and you were going to the beach. You were saying,
Or a little older and fold into that on a BMX bike, leaving early, cruising the town, or out on the river. Remember that song, Supertramp?
Yep.
Was up before the dawn. That out on a push pulling on a homemade like raft. Out
yeah,
the
like
river.
tire swings and all that stuff out in the
All that, yeah.
yeah.
Forts.
Now, were you a cartoon person? Did you guys watch
Yeah.
Saturday morning Cartoon Express or
Yeah, it was a lot of Bugs Bunny going on in there.
G.I. Joe was a Saturday
G.I.
morning one, I
Joe.
think, if I'm not mistaken, or one of those.
And early X-Men.
Okay.
And the one that was half cartoon and half real, was that the elders fleet strong and wise appear before my seeking eyes? Some kind of Shazam kind of deal.
I think so. And
Yeah.
we have we have an 8 to 10 year difference between us, right?
The superheroes, the Justice League.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
that.
And you know what's really cool is these apps now.
Yeah.
Like HBO bought the DC, I think, and all that, and they play the old Silver Surfer, the old Magnetos, the old Spider-Mans from back in the 80s, the old what was the one you just said?
I'm drawing a blank.
The X-Men.
Yeah.
The old X-Men cartoons and series, the first cartoon series, and within the Marvel realms and all that. They have that. You can watch that now just on an app.
It was all them cartoons, and it was definitely Outer Limits, Soul Train, and then Creature Feature with Dr. Paul Bearer. And then
Okay.
maybe, I think it was was it Saturday or Sunday when the Wide World of Sports would come on, and it'd be once in a blue moon, it'd be like surfing at Pipe.
Oh, okay.
1982, I remember it was on there. But the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat, that old.
Was there surfing like channels? Like I remember on the weekends there was always a fishing channels. You had Bill Dance, outdoors. You had Jimmy Houston, outdoors, and I felt like there was like sometimes there'd be some like
For-
surfing or some kind
For a
of
minute, the ESPN had the Bud Light Tour.
Yes. Okay.
and you'd hear that thing in case you were recording the beep 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 beep, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that was Bud Light tour.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
what you're thinking. Yeah.
Think so.
Now you got it's all legit. now.
It's. I mean, there's a whole app that just plays all day, every day now.
The WSL. It's
Yeah.
ponied up.
I
And
mean, it's just the whole thing now. I mean, people can really follow it like a sport now.
I think Dave told me that Dave Post recently told me, maybe I'm botching this, but I think he said there's going to be like 30 song or 30 something wave pools in
I'm gonna do a little pause real quick.
All right. Okay.
Now we were okay. That was a work. Dude, work's been just so big. I usually haven't been getting for years now calls in the evening. In these last couple of weeks, Washington, the apples are just flowing right now.
And the fire and the
And
storms.
that's not even messing with me at all. And even Jared, he's had some pickups in Los Angeles that maybe have delayed a day because of maybe a road closure or something. But he's had no really delays in picking up and getting stuff delivered and finding trucks to do it. It hasn't like we're in the supply chain of, commerce of produce out of California. Like we're heavy in it. And it's good in it. And there's no problems at all happening that I'm seeing that is causing any kind of rate increases or, gnarly situations or, the worst part has been the weather.
The bomb drop you
And-
told me delayed it,
And
right?
just, I mean, like I got to give credit to the drivers that I work with. These guys are, two drivers to a truck in a lot of cases, and it's the guys that are running it by themselves. To run across the I-80 up in Wyoming and with no windbreak, uh, it's in a big old semi truck. It's
Sketchy. Yeah.
it's sketchy with the winds and
You
stuff,
die
man.
out there, right?
And then you start going over these mountains with icy roads and high winds and snows coming in and chains on your tires and I mean there are a lot of people that are not very skilled try it and don't ever do it again or get injured, because it's
Yeah,
dangerous, super dangerous.
Yeah.
Even for a car to do it, it's dangerous if you're not, skilled behind the wheel, or have
Yeah.
good tires.
Yep.
You could, it's bad.
I just seen a video
And,
of a bunch of trucks all over the road.
Oh yeah, dude. And dude, I have one guy, Maxentino. He'll be driving down and he'll be laughing. I told y'all motherfuckers don't be coming up here. And while he's saying it, he's got a video going and it's, 7 or 8 trucks tipped over because they tried to drive empty across the I-80 to go get a load or something. And a wind's like a just little burst of wind can come up and just tip you right over, bro.
Like that one that happened on the big bridge to
Yeah.
Mount Island, and it skipped that high riding 4-wheeler the
Man.
4-wheel drive truck, it skipped it off. That was sad.
It's insane. It's insane.
So you didn't lay out any.
But if we're gonna
Okay.
go, and I was still kind of feeling you out there on the
Okay.
Saturday morning stuff because I didn't know if you were a cartoon guy or not, or if you're in that kind of like
When I was a kid, I was, yeah.
when I was you know, back in the really on the Saturday mornings when you're a kid, is I was 8 years older than my brother and 10 years older than my sister. So I was like the ones that was up and hanging out with the kids, and I'm trying to watch what I want to watch, and then they're trying to watch what they want to watch. And, you know, most times they'd win. So my brother watched Gumby, was his favorite, Gumby and Pokey. And I liked them. You know, that was that old claymation shit, and I liked it.
That's cool.
My sister loved Lamb Chop. She was all about that Lamb Chop lady.
I'm kind of.
She was the puppet, the little
yeah,
lamb
yeah.
puppet lady with the
Yeah.
red hair, and I forget her name, but she was like the Lamb Chop. My mom had the little Lamb Chop and you know all that. So, but I was GI Joe. You know, I think it was Saturday morning was GI Joe. You can make fun of me for Sunday mornings. That was the Smurfs. To me, the Smurfs were the coolest thing going. Gargamel and Smurfette. It's probably my first crush, you know. Smurfette was probably the first. Every Smurf. Why was she the only girl?
That I cannot answer.
And then Papa Smurf, you know, obviously, you know, that was his lady, obviously.
I'm going to tell you, I never smurfed out, ever. So,
I always wanted to try like Smurfberry juice. I feel like when they did the animated Smurfs, they kind of ruined it. I feel like they could have done it so cool. Like you see how a lot of these old series come out like really awesome, where you see these book, you know, things like your Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. They come out so cool. I feel like the Smurfs could have been.
hey.
Oh no!
Wow. I got the faces on now.
Butters.
It's
I haven't heard
resolved.
them fight like that in a while. That was Blue and Butters.
It stayed on for a
Loki's
minute.
over here hanging out with me.
There's-
That was a good one.
They're scowling. at
Are they
each
still?
other.
What did they do? Did you notice what happened?
They did.
Was that a
It's-
butt sniff?
It sounded like worse than it was.
Yeah, it's never bad. I've heard that's nothing.
Butters is like eyeballing Blue. Yeah.
Butters has been bottom of the totem pole for so long. He just always is trying to level up always, and he just like they'll give him, you know, they give him a lot of space and let him do his thing and everything. But every once in a while, then Butters, you know, he just kind of gets on their nerves, man. And they give him his business and they tell him what's up.
Yeah.
He tries to hold strong though. He gets the look. He's got that look, man.
Yeah, he's got that bottom jaw. Scowl.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm pulling up your list again.
Saturday morning. For me, it was really just doing all of that stuff. We had yard darts. We'd be out back playing yard darts. I remember I was shooting my BB gun, shooting cans in the air.
I did the pocket rocket, the slingshots, the
Oh
wrist
yeah,
rockets.
we had all those. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
totally. We'd go play out in the creek and get crawdads, and bring them back, and I put them in this little aquarium outside or this little bucket that I had.
It was guppies for me from down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My stepdad took my crawdads and he put them in the damn frying pan. I came home from school and he's sitting there just, you know, with butter and just in the frying pan. He goes, "I told you they turn red," because they all turn red. They were all dark brown, and, you know, crayfish and everything.
Little lobsters.
And they were just little lobsters. He's like, "I knew they'd turn red." I was like, "You motherfucker."
That's my pets.
I had names, I think, for them.
Yeah, no, he renamed them Red, Red, and Red. That's hard.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
It's traumatizing.
I had aquariums in my family growing up.
Yeah.
All kind of, tetras and all the things.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever catch your, like, parents doing anything crazy? Like, no, I'm not trying to say sexual and all that kind of stuff, but, like any moments where, like, the kids weren't supposed to be around and they caught, like, a party going on. The only reason I'm saying this is for my stepdad's birthday, my mom got him a belly dancer.
Okay.
And we were supposed to stay in my room and shut the door, me and my friend Nick. And we climbed out my window and we were looking through the front door. We were probably 11, 12 maybe. And looking through the front door. And we saw this, red, fleet, like, see-through-ish type of stuff. And there was like 7 or 8 of their friends, and this girl doing her little belly dancing all around the thing. And we were giggling and kind of watching, and running around hiding in bushes. I don't know.
I didn't have any of that. I don't think there was a catch it moment,
Yeah.
But that's a great story. The hula hooper. Yeah.
We had a St. Bernard back then too, Moses, and he was like 200 plus pounds. He knew how to take his nose and lift the fence up and get out. So if you didn't put that lock on that fence, he's getting out.
Smart.
And so I came home from school one day, and my parents were running around outside trying to find the dog and couldn't find him anywhere. Like, we were driving all around the neighborhood and just the whole thing. And then I just happened to walk across the street because there's a manhole there and water, and I knew it was kind of hot out. What if you just went and get wet? And I looked in the manhole all the way in.
Culvert pipe?
Yeah, a little culvert pipe that goes under the street.
Okay.
And he was halfway through it.
Just chilling.
Just in there, standing still, just getting cool.
Okay.
And I had to crawl in there and bring him out.
Good. I'm glad it's not a sad ending.
Oh, yeah. He was, yeah.
No.
I just remember it as, like, his last meal, dude. He couldn't, like, he was so old, he couldn't kind of walk and shit.
All right.
And so getting up on his feet, just wasn't kind of happening. And we kind of knew it was getting close and already had all the appointments and the setup for it. My mom made him a big old steak. The motherfucker got up, walked over there, just laid down and just ate that steak and just looked at us like, it's time to go.
Cool.
And it was just a cool moment. I remember sledding up there. We have an old VHS tape somewhere. We were on the news whenever it would snow up in Kentucky. There was McNeely Lake Park, and then there was a few other places, but that was out in Fairdale, Kentucky area. You could sled, and when you get there, there'd be rows of vehicles, and you'd have these big old inner tubes, just black inner tubes, like old, thick, gnarly ones, and all the adults that were drinking alcohol and like they'd big bonfire in the big old pit.
They'd bomb the hill.
And they would bomb with that one, and then all the people would jump on them. So they would try to see how many people they could stack on these things. And it was so fun to watch, right? It was
neat.
Awesome. And my sled was the one my parents, and then you had those round disc, ones that everybody had. Just the round ones that you'd sit on, look like a dang lid of a trash can.
Like a parabolic ear.
And lid of a trash can was used very regularly and often too.
Yeah.
My mom, I remember that Toys R Us got me one that you had little brakes on it and you kind of sat in, like not a toboggan because there are a lot of toboggans too.
Rosebud.
But kind of like a plastic version.
Right.
And you put your feet in it and you had these brakes with your hands so you could slow it down.
I've seen them.
And my stepdad put Crisco, on the bottom of it before we left. I bet this will help.
The dolphin skin.
And we're out there, man, and just having a great time. I'm sledding, getting down the hill a few times. Crisco guy over here gets the whole thing all dollied up for me. He gives me a good push down the hill. I'm going. I try to use my brakes, and they fucking broke off.
Ooh.
Threw them out. And I'm just going. And I just hit the perfect, edge of the whole thing and went so far that I crossed this little, like, dirt path right into the creek, into the water.
Oh, into the water.
Into the water.
Broke your fall.
Into the water, just soaking wet. Head to toe. My mom's freaking. You can see her running down the hill. Scott!
Yeah.
Rushing me to get me home. You're gonna die of hypothermia.
So you do the.
I'm laughing. I'm like,
rag
that's so
doll,
cool.
yep.
Did you see that shit?
Yeah.
But Saint Bernard would always come with us, Moses, and would go sit on people's laps. He'd just go mingle with everybody. He'd never hang out with us. He hated us. He
He
was like,
never
"Eh."
got cold.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was just such a cool dog. Blockbuster Video, man.
You remember the shame curtain, the shame section when they had
Wait, when did they do away with the shame curtain? I feel like it was there always, right?
it's kind of like I remember it not being there, and then it was, and it definitely got gone. But just people walking out the shame section, and
Like the one on Garden Street had a shame curtain, and then I remember then all of a sudden the shame curtain wasn't shameful anymore.
but then they got rid of the whole like
Yeah.
adult section.
Yeah, I remember that. It was so fun going to Blockbuster. They kind of got a little crazy with all the shit towards the end, with all the candy and all the fluff that they brought in. It was kind of cool that if you went in and they had a new release and they didn't have one, that you get it free the next time.
And you're always gonna see people and high five your friends and talk about movies
It was kind of like the social hangout.
and swap germs on the
Totally.
videos themselves.
Totally. I was in there. We were at Jared's house and his sister's little birthday, and we took some gel tab acid, and we were bouncing. It was raining. We were bouncing in the tent, and his mom like turned off the air, and it was kind of coming down. We're like freaking out, and we had to go to Blockbuster to pick up a movie or something. And Jared drove us up there, and me and my buddy Chris, we were, it was hitting us pretty good. And I remember being in Blockbuster, and I was looking at this movie, and it was this girl, and she was like laying in like a lawn chair type of thing, and had this like black tribal tattoo down her side. And I remember just kind of staring at it, going, "Wow." I was 17, 18.
Spacing out in Blockbuster.
And I just remember looking over to my right all of a sudden, like very quickly, and Coach Bundy,
Yep.
like my track coach, was sitting there just staring at me, and he just shook his head and just walked by, and I was like,
You've been outed.
like, man, dude. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's so funny. That's so funny. You guys used to go there a lot?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, all
It
the
was-
time, man.
Yeah.
Did you blend into Netflix when the mail-in Netflixes started popping?
Yep.
Yeah, like
And
instantly?
The machine at Publix and all that happened, and not
The
driving
red box?
is the best. Yeah,
The red box was pretty cool.
it's a thing though.
Yeah.
You get it.
You got to hold on to them for quite a while, it seemed.
It's just a thing, but it's so much better when it just comes in on a fiber optic.
It is,
Non-
especially if you have a good connection.
And you
The
got
connections keep getting better, it seems.
got to stack it up in your closet. All the hubbub, the plastic.
Yeah, no doubt.
What else we got? Toys or school lunch? I got some school lunch stuff.
Yeah, what's your school lunch?
Well, I was just thinking about Scott put on this list school lunch nostalgia, and I was instantly reminded of when I went to astronaut, how they would like
You want the fries?
they'd get the cinnamon bun thing flowing
Oh, they're so good.
through the whole school, and everybody would just be like hypnotized.
They were fire. How do you remember them?
Well, I was a glutton, and I love them things, and they're just so readily available. And then you'd smell
How
it
big were they?
on the wind. They're big old fat 1980s biscuits.
And it's kind of like, yeah,
with
dude.
Sugar.
And it like the small little plate that's assist your other plate. It's like the full size.
It
of that.
was like way desserty to be serving kids if you're trying to be all healthy about what.
Would you
you're
say
giving them.
5 inches?
It was satisfying, man.
It was 5 to 6 inches around. 5 inches.
It was a big old sweet roll.
Yeah, dude.
Cinnamon roll.
And would you just like unwind it slowly, a little bit at a time?
Yeah, man.
And then you get to the middle and you have that little gooey little middle part.
And then you start smelling right before that, or right after that, right before lunch. You start smelling all the other fixins and
Man.
the
The
classic
calzones and the pizzas upstairs.
pizza. The school pizza was the
The Mexican pizzas.
yeah. And then you took me back to the elementary school. You're
Yep.
getting your lunch, and you got the little milk carton and the whole thing, and
When Silas and Allie were at Oak Park in the early days, especially Allie, I would always in the morning go to and have breakfast with her. And actually, no, I did that more with Silas. I did it with Allie a few times, but when Silas was first at Oak Park, we'd go in the morning before work and everything, and he'd always eat breakfast there. So and it was free for him, and for me it was like $1.50 or something. So I would always go in there with them, and they'd have the French toast sticks.
Yeah.
And
Bread.
they kind of cheaped up because they were just kind of like these certain ones that I think they were just frozen ones that they're just heating up. When they used to like do it with the old school bread and they chop them and they dip them in the egg, and dude, they were so fire back in the day, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked in my senior year just to take a class and do a nothing class kind of thing. We did a home ec, and our teacher, it's kind of we didn't like her that much, and you'd get the same credit if you went and assisted in the lunchroom than if you were in the class because you're on
You're
training.
helping cook,
So we'd go hang out with the lunch ladies,
nibbling.
and they'd be out there smoking out back, coming in. They were like real people, And there are lunch ladies to this day that I walk by in public and I'll see and I go, man, I remember you. How you doing? They're like, oh, hey. And because they fed us every single day. And they had their stations in line. You had the fry lady, the little Asian lady. He's like, do you want the fries?
And you were constantly hungry.
And we were always like laughing about the fry lady because she would just get so like intense with
Rowdy.
the fry thing. Too many fry, she'd just be all animated. And I think just the students just loved her energy. Like it was an intense energy, And you got up because you had certain people; they'd be your friends and whatever you need. You could kind of be goofy with them. Then you had teachers and faculty in general that just didn't take your shit, and when you knew when to just put your head down and yes sir, and just kind of get past that person. It was I don't know, it was fun memories, man.
You ate a lot of potatoes in high school.
Breadsticks,
I did too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So many breadsticks.
Yeah.
Because you could just all day long go in there pretty much and get like 2 or 3 breadsticks. Like they were just always making breadsticks, man. A little butter on them, a little garlic salt on the top.
Yummy.
Yeah, I always liked school lunches. All right. I mean, they weren't the best, obviously, but there were certain little things like that. I remember in middle school in Kentucky, for lunch, once a month, one of their things they'd have these little peanut butter cups, and they were like with those little perforated round white little 2-inch around little cups that you can kind of flatten out, unperforate them, and they'd almost go flat.
Kind of like a Whitman deal.
Yeah,
Made of cloth almost.
exactly.
Fancy.
Little papers,
Really tasty.
and there would be a little round scoop ball, like a melon scoop, of this peanut butter crunch stuff. And that shit was good.
Yeah.
Like real good.
Yep.
Like it would be gone. Like you could never get seconds of that. Like never. It was just never available. It was just so fire.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Those are cool.
Yeah. We used to play Jeopardy at lunch. Everybody, we'd all pick a thing and have a top 5 or whatever, or we'd have some kind of game that we would play. And then I would listen to Andrew Dice Clay. I at least in my headset listen to his tapes of his nursery rhymes because I recorded it. My brother had a little recording tape deck,
Like a cassette.
little cassette deck with a little microphone. So like one of those little, you could just like sing into it and record yourself, go back and hear yourself and everything. And my mom, and then they'd rent movies at Blockbuster, and it'd be Andrew Dice Clay, Eddie Murphy Raw, Delirious. I would record them on my blank cassettes
High tech.
and throw it in my little Sony Walkman, and I'd be listening to it, and then I'd wait for lunch, and it'd be like, little boy Blue, hey, he needed the money. Just go through and just do all that shit and just get all the laughs. I'd eat it up, come with a different joke every day.
And you had a cassette player with you?
No, well, I'd have like my little Walkman,
your Walkman,
with the little
that's right.
cassette, Yeah, oh yeah.
I had
Oh,
a
yeah.
cassette thing with me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Listen to Jethro Tull in my ear thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, that's funny.
So yeah, I busted out the Tascam 424, I think it is, and it's the 4-track cassette tape recorder that we used to write songs and catch jams, and that's
Yeah.
what that. Speaking of old tech,
You still have a lot of that old material too, don't you?
I have a lot, and yeah, I started, going through it.
It's gonna be kind of fun going through all that stuff because I feel like you can use that in your music production now. Some of the old video, especially having that as like kind of like the music video itself in the background, and you could almost write for that scene. You know what I mean? You could almost write a song based on that memory now, and then use that video for.
Wait,
I don't know.
wait till you hear it. It sounds so vintage, and some of it you probably laugh. I do,
Yeah.
but some of it's just so free flowing, and I got some stuff with the band, like Pat and Jimmy and Nate would write, like especially if I was going somewhere, like I just remember going to Puerto Rico a couple times, and they chucked me a tape, and I was like, what? And we played that the whole time driving everywhere, and I get to write my lyrics on some stuff.
Wow.
And so I pulled some of that up. I was like, oh, wow, I've heard that. I haven't heard that in a million years,
Wow.
but it's burned into my brain because I heard it a lot.
Wow. That's really cool.
Some of that, yeah, early 90s.
You guys had a lot of vinyl back then going in the house?
Yeah.
Parents always had the vinyl. Like, did you have one of those real wide ones, the little low with the cloth speaker? You had, it was like a credenza type of setup. Yeah, they're cool, man.
Yep.
Then you had the TV that was like wooden and big like that too, and yeah, so funny.
The record thing, that the dome that covered the record player, you could pop it off.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Flip
Yep.
it upside down and bust up your regs with some seeds. In it.
Yeah.
Shake it and tilt it so the seeds all went here and what your fingers over there.
Yeah.
Old school.
I think I've probably seen my uncles doing that.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny. Let's take a little break.
Okay.
Then what do you want to listen to? Let's throw some low pressure on.
Do you got that song, The Dream?
I don't know if I do.
Che was just asking me about it.
I don't. I got some Indian. I got some low pressure. I got Mushroom Song.
That's Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
How are you today?
Okay.
Great.
Who's
This is a courtesy call regarding your wireless plan.
I'm already taken care of. Thank you.
Yes, this is regarding the current line I'm calling to. There seems
Yeah.
to be some unusual additional data charges on the account in the past week.
From what?
Well, we wanted to give you a courtesy call to make you aware of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, as of right now, there are $260 in data overages.
What?
Well, it seems like an extra 16 gigabytes were used outside of your limited plan.
On my computer?
You should really be more aware of how much data you're using.
What are you talking about?
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and charge this to the card on file. Is that okay?
No, you're not.
Well, look, I can take an extra $10 off if we can settle this now. Just give me the word.
I don't know who the hell you are or what company
Well,
you're
let me
calling
finish.
from.
Great. Your final bill is $250. I'll just submit this then.
Who are you?
Oh, sorry. It's already processing.
That's okay. I'm making a call right now about this call. Thank you very much. I got your number. Got your number.
Your shit's like, oh, mine's pretty faded too.
Yeah. And then, like, my kids are going to see all these old, things, and, man, it's cool.
Then they'll go in a landfill.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, when I'm done,
Or
I'll be
just
like, oh,
at
my kids
some
are going to
point,
save all my nostalgia on all my cool
Yeah.
stuff. They're going to save it,
landfill.
No. It's going to be in the attic. The house will get sold. It'll be left up there.
Burn pile.
It'll look just like the rooms probably look right now. Like,
Some kid will pick a batch of it up and see you in a picture and go, yeah, stuff.
there'll be some service that you just move out of a house as is now, and somebody comes in and just clears it all out and just fucking dumps it in a landfill. Damn it, man.
And millions and
All our
millions
memories.
of years later, everybody's is just fireballed.
Well, then it's just we're all going to be in the hive mind
Yeah.
metaverse of some kind.
Yep. Looking back at me and you like we're just like bacteria.
I mean, we've been looking backwards a little bit. Think about how forward, think about how, you have people talking about aliens now, consistently. You don't know what's real and what's not on the internet so much anymore, as far as real stories, and you can see a video of somebody and then see the doctored version video of somebody where propaganda's tied in behind it, and it's leading a whole different narrative. And you have a whole hive of people that didn't grow up in the era where the original video came from or something going, yeah, that's real, and believing it. So there's so much out there now.
And even without more of that, I mean, I feel like, there's some mysterious stuff going on. I mean,
do you think there are pyramids underground and under the water and up in Alaska where an alien race was? Or do you feel like in the sub-earth that the first live, inhabitants of Earth live underground now, way deep in these caverns, in a whole different lifestyle now?
no.
You think so?
I'm just vibing there's way more going on that us little monkeys know about, and we see glimpses of it, and it's, I'm not saying that some higher intelligence is just watching us all the time, but
What are they, the Anunnakis or something?
There's
Anunnakis?
but just stuff,
Yeah.
I mean, unexplainable, and you feel the vibe. You're like, oh, you feel like a pebble,
Right?
for a minute. Yeah, just the heaviness of, what you don't know, or do you see something and it's
I mean, if you think about it, the size of an atom, it's so microscopic. You know what I mean? It's so, just an atom. And when you think about a solar systems and the galaxy, our Earth is kind of like an atom in the grand scheme of our solar systems,
got
all combined.
got macro and microcosms.
What if we're just
Horton Hears a Who.
what if we're just the toenail of some beast that's so big we don't even know, and we're just living this whole Earth's existence on some fucking ogre's toenail?
Horton Hears an ogre's
Yeah.
toenail. Yeah, it could be.
You never know, man. It's
Okay. All right. If there's an alternate universe where the reptilians are
Yep.
smart like we are or whatever, and we're hanging out with them, is it possible that in one of them scenarios that you may get a phone call and hear some stuff you might get on the phone and hear some stuff like, this call may be monitor lizards. That was my
Is that
joke.
your joke that you've
Yeah.
been waiting on?
Perfect. You never know.
All right, help me out with a joke then. I've been trying. Okay, you put a lot of notes and stuff in your iPad. When you're thinking of
Yes.
something and ideas, and something inspired you, or maybe do a voice recording of something.
I got a lot of notes.
Yeah, I've got people snoring. I've got them recorded. I've got a lot of people snoring, and I'll save it and put their name on it, and someone's snoring. I can just play it whenever I want and laugh. I got a lot of jokes, a lot of ideas. Hear me out on this one.
We can dub in a laugh too. Token Laugh or whatever, we can put some samples in.
I totally got that. So here we go. I was watching on YouTube. I've been going down this rabbit hole of mindfulness and breathing through this podcast or this audiobook I finished by James Nestor, Breathe. It was so informative, and Andrew Huberman and a lot of these guys, man, they just throw a lot of like that Stanford dude. He throws a lot of knowledge behind very simple practices in everyday life that we don't probably value or fully understand or haven't been taught yet the importance of certain bodily, breathing techniques and the amount of sleep that you get. We always say it's good to rest, but I mean, a lot of us don't sleep, peacefully or the right way, or we are mouth breathers instead of using our nose. And the softer the foods we eat, the more we're kind of degenerating our jaws and our mouths, as
And you might have a clenched jaw or clenched fist.
Yeah, man.
All
And,
night.
all these teeth problems that people have, and a lot of it kind of stems from what we eat, and just all that stuff. So I'm going, and I do
So
have
you-
we have the laugh
Okay.
tracks and the laughs. And we got all that stuff, so we're good. So here's I was watching all these YouTube clips, and it starts going into like yoga and meditation, and I've been in there trying to, like, today I probably got a good 5, 6, 7 minutes worth where I meditated. I couldn't go more than a minute or two at first, but I keep trying on my lunch breaks or at night before bed. I'll, in the morning, if I get up early enough, I'll try to just have everything off and away and close your eyes. Try to meditate, right? And YouTube just has so much information to kind of give you knowledge and kind of just maybe even give you a little confidence to actually fucking do it and not feel weird and stupid, I feel like every time I'm going to do something that's out of the realm of what I normally do, I picture like all of my best friends from high school being in the same room with me, and what are they going to do? Oh, I'm not doing that. Like, right? Like, that's kind of the way your inner critic kind of plays to those norms or whatever you want to call it. And so you got to get out of your head first before you can meditate and do all these kind of things. Watching these YouTube videos, these yoga classes, and it's usually like 15 real pretty girls, and then one dude, maybe 2 dudes, and you have peppered in some dudes. Like, there's more dudes, right?
All right.
A lot of dudes do yoga, so this isn't a girl only thing. But if you were like if you were just trying to get some pussy, you know what I mean? You're just trying to get something. You're trying to, you know what I mean? And you see these yoga classes, like, you could think about it, Beavis and Butthead, mindset, or whatever mindset you want to take it to. Yoga guys, Saturday Night Live skit, right? Totally Ace and Gary, the ambiguously gay yoga duo or something, right? But the yoga guy that's trying to go in there for the purpose of slaying it. All right. He sees all the opportunity. He just got to come in there and be sensitive and not fart, bend properly, do all the things, get into it.
Did you say not fart?
This is what I just wrote, and this is going to sound terrible. But hear the premise. Yoga guys who do yoga just to get when they're meditating, think of all the things that go through their minds. If I can get through 15 minutes of this, I'll be tantricking Christina, in no time, and there's got to be some kind of angle that I've started a joke here, but there's a yoga guy joke there somewhere.
The wormy guy at the yoga studio
Totally.
scheming.
Oh, totally.
Okay.
Like doing some hippies. Like, could you see like a Will Ferrell-ish yoga anchorman,
Hammond it up.
with the old Sex Panther,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Got the whole news team there.
I think Che and I were riffing on like something like that, but it was like the like the narcissist yoga guy instructor.
You could get real creepy in the yoga, right? Like you already have all these like yoga gone like the higher level Indian dudes that are shamans.
Yeah.
Or is a shaman? No, no, no. The shaman is more with medicines like ayahuasca stuff,
They're
right?
the ones that can turn into dust and go under a door. Or
What are the yoga master guys? What do they call them? The yogis?
Crane could tell you.
They're like a yogi or something. A lot of times they're like pyramid schemes for having multiple wives. Like it's just straight up. It just is that. Like on HBO, they got way too many documentaries that surround a lot of these things, and you get a lot of these guys. They'll come over to America to show their stretching and yoga classes, and just travel to all these convention centers and the women yoga. People that love the practice of being more mindful, and they're like really trying to better themselves. Get tied into some of these crazy cults and these crazy, situations. And while they're in it, you don't even know. You feel like you're doing everything right, and your parents and your family and friends are going, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?" And you're just in it, and then all of a sudden, it all caves in, and then 5 years later, you're doing a documentary about how you got duped, and it can happen to anybody.
You watch one like that?
Oh yeah, I think it was called Breathe too, or some kind of breath, or
It's a lot of people, a lot of things going on right now, right? Just a lot of people. I think I've seen somebody saying how many people live in Egypt right now alone, and some of the future projections for just how many more people are being born versus the whole water deal.
yeah,
And it's intense. It's globally intense. A lot of people, a lot of needs, a
it
lot
really is.
of movement and
It-
and sales and
It
and yeah.
if like the modernizing some of these countries with very big populations, it's happening. Like the digital marketplace of money, the cryptocurrencies. You're hearing, even in right now with the current presidential transfer of power and everything, the Doge committees for these coins and these internet coins, and you're hearing a lot of digital coin conversation. I mean, Bitcoin went over 100,000. It was 10,000 a couple years ago when we were talking, when we were buying all those ADAs, the Cardanos with Corey, and all of us, and buying the Shiba Inus and joking around with that, and even the Wax blockchain that we have our galactic grams on. I pulled all of them off the marketplace not long ago, and I'm going to throw them out there again eventually. But wanted to wait for us to kind of some of the things that we're working on, getting our Discord kind of dolled back up again, and maybe start releasing them in a different way. But the value to the U.S. dollar, went way down in the cryptocurrency and all those little side coins, and you'll see Dogecoin pop every once in a while, and Elon, these guys made a whole lot of money doing that, and it's kind of been quiet because the SEC was kind of coming down on some people. You had that Brinkman Freed dude that was corrupt as could be, and then you just start seeing documentaries too about that. Of down in Miami, you had these people that just made up some kind of coin or some kind of credit card that was a digital credit card to cash Bitcoin, and it was all bull crap. And they're putting CEOs on their website of companies like Morgan Chase that these guys don't even exist. You know what I mean? And you get these little, inspectors that are they'll invest into these coins and stuff early on, and then they'll start deep diving and going, man, is this a real company? And doing the research and everything. And then once they find out it's not, they'll sell and then expose it, and it crashes the coin, or then a documentary comes out about that shit down the road.
That's a weird realm,
And
that whole thing.
it's like all this scam culture and getting rich quick, and then get a documentary made about it. I guess Netflix kind of was big with that too. Putting out the Tiger Kings and all these real crazy stories out there, and then just the internet goes wild with them, talking about them.
Yeah,
Kind of like Unsolved Mysteries in a way was a big one back in the day.
and it's getting bigger because more people, more stuff, more mysteries, more stuff to fluff up.
And everything's turning more global, man.
Yeah.
Like whether you like it or not, or we hear the compare and contrast of it all, but I mean, when you really look at the money and where a lot of the young people, that's your barometer, your direction point is like, what are these young people doing? They're using digital card. They're asking their mom and dad for $20 to put it in their digital wallets so they can buy their digital stuff for their digital games. So when they get older, it's going to be very normal for them.
It's a giant spider web. It's going to get bigger and more complex with all kind of layers, right?
I think so.
Like
And nothing like you're not going to need the real golds and the other assets. It's almost going to be like a trending or a social or
like a sci-fi flick.
I don't
Right.
know. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
And somebody wants to say something about the mark of the beast and all that, the getting the barcode on your head or your hand, all that, you always hear that
Yeah, man.
bubbling up.
God, dude. I don't know.
It's coming in bionics and stuff, amendments.
You're seeing like a pushback too in health. Mushrooms are becoming just a huge thing. Lion's manes and your rishis and your cordyceps and
In the DIY grow, right?
the DIY grows. You're seeing it. It's all over Amazon.
Hat tip,
you could just
Andre.
all that stuff, man. It's pretty amazing. You're seeing a lot of small pop-up companies like on your TikToks, like you saw the TikTok ban and all that, and then 10 hours later it came back. That was a crazy story too, because like 4 or 5 million Americans just went on to and gave all their data on an app that's out of China, just kind of despite of our government. So, you're stealing our data. Everybody's already got everybody's data here. China, take it all. Like millions of people did that.
That's what you were saying the other day.
Yeah.
Okay.
TikTok is getting banned, and all that, and a lot of people love TikTok. And there was like a $10 billion of commerce is on TikTok in America. So just to wipe that out is wiping $10 billion out of your economy. And all these local, people that create these things are businesses and LLCs. No different than if you have like a convenience store selling candy. You're not really making much on the gas that you're selling or the lottery that you're selling. You're just getting little tiny chunks of that. You're making your money on what you can sell in your store. And the people that are coming to buy the gas and the lottery tickets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean that's it. If you take out lottery or you get rid of gas, you're closing that store probably because people aren't going to go in there just for a Red Bull and a soda all the time, or as many. It'll contract. So it's not. I don't feel it's too different from having an online marketplace of entertainment, like funny videos or whatever the case may be, and then you happen to sell things and get a commission based on what you sell or your commercials or your YouTube or your TV show, and your Pee-wee's Playhouse was a 30-minute clip of craziness, and they sold commercial time in between it.
And everything's all shifty, and there's opportunity coming and going.
Like you have some guys, I see this commercial on TikTok I see it every day, and it's like these kids, I don't know if it's because they've done something amazing or if it's like bullshit, but they've been cheated too and have videos about it, but they've found a way to make bubble gum healthier for people's mouths, and they're using like tree saps from these spruces and from these other natural resources that when you do chew them, it actually makes your mouth stronger and healthier. This is the claims, and tastes better, but it's very expensive gum. Like it's $15 for a pack of gum or $20 as compared to a 3 or 50 cent or $1 pack that you're going to buy from Trident or some of your local. But what they do in their marketing is they pick apart all the chemicals in those gums and how bad they are for your body and everything. And it makes a lot of sense when you're watching the video, and I haven't like really dived to see if they're accurate in their claims, but it's really popular, and these guys have made a lot of money, and they show how they make their gum, why their gum's better. So they're saying, hey, you can do it yourself.
Have you said
It's almost like the Anarchist Cookbook or
what's their name?
I have to let me get my phone and I'll find it.
That's interesting. All the weird, cool stuff that people are.
So you can market yourself on a YouTube
Yeah.
channel now. Like, look at the Beast dude. You know, really
He's a beast.
he really figured out how to take a platform and go, okay, I don't want to just be English. I want to be Spanish. I want to be all of it. I want to be Italian. I want to be German. I want to be Russian. So he hired, translators to overdub all of his American videos into all of those different languages. Just like when you watch, back in the day, you'd watch an old Bruce Lee film that was all stepped on with terrible voiceovers.
I love that.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So he's saying, let's put that in the digital realm. So, and now you like Asian content, you'll see overdubbed in American Squid Games and all these, shows and stuff. Well, you can see little clip versions of that on TikTok for 30 seconds that has 12 million views with a little ad on there. That's probably going to get that company a lot more business than if they spend a little money and put it on a TV commercial for a fraction of the cost. And people our age or people that aren't in those environments that know that marketing and know that thing, you don't know that, but these young kids do. It's definitely the future. I'll find that gum. Nathan and Sons, and then their underbrush, some kind of remineralizing gum. I'll show you one of their videos. Hold on here. Here, I'll even pause this real quick. Yeah, like I didn't know the legalities of playing that commercial, on here from
Right.
TikTok
Just
and everything.
watched it.
But I wanted you to watch it, and it's
It makes you want to check it out.
it's like they got the old double boiler setups, and they got like they're taking spruce saps and spearmint oils that are from the natural source, not broken down into these multiple chemicals that mask each other or sweeteners, and you know what I mean,
And flipping it around.
that are hurting our teeth.
Yeah.
And if you really think about it, like some of the mail I opened today was a pre-bill on when I get some of my dentist work done, what's going to cost me, and even with insurance, it's freaking expensive to get your teeth worked on. And you say to brush your teeth every day, but are you marketed the best way to brush your teeth every day? Are you using the right paste, or is the fluoride good? Is it not good? What's the balance? It's so up in the air right now, and some of it's just because maybe science and our understanding 30 years ago was just different than it is now, so we have more of a understanding, but there's always like fear of change, and you get this stubbornness. We all have it built in us.
Colgate.
And that's the one. Like, and what's
Crest.
our whole business model of society is built on longevity and companies getting bigger. They can't stay the same size or shrink because then they're dead. And that's what they say in like every business book and stuff. You're either growing or you're dying.
All right.
Where's the sustainment? Where's the longevity model, but in doing it the right way too,
Yeah, I
always
feel
cutting
you.
corners for more money.
And what I always think of when that vibe comes up is I remember being pretty far north of here in some woods hiking with my one buddy, Hat Tip Pete, and we were like, we'd never been out in these woods, and we were far, and we found these like mountains of tires from I don't know when, some business that was like, probably less than an hour away for like 30 years. Joe Schmo and his company was making money, and part of their,
Big
they,
Joe's tires.
whoever, yeah, just conveniently dumping them in the woods on a back road, a dim trail back in the day,
That was the thing to do back then. You'd always see that
way
in the
back
woods.
in the day. And but while they're getting the money, getting the nut, it's like they're just thinking, yeah, we'll just make some landfill stuff and get some cash, and it's cool.
Yeah, totally.
But that thing you leave behind, that what is that? That's if it's a building or outdated tech or some stuff that you can't use a heap, it's landfill.
Yeah.
It's all landfill.
And like, imagine what that is going to be. Like, I wonder if we've ever found, like, we don't need to look it up or anything, but like a landfill from like 10,000 years ago. Like if there was a societies back then,
Yeah, for sure.
like where did everybody dump their trash, and what does that conglomerate of glob look like
Ours is way
today?
worse.
Oh, it's got to be, right, with all of our rubbers and plastics and metals and
What about the
fecal matter and
HPS lights and bulbs?
oh, dude, all of it.
Because everybody went LED, and now you got like mountains.
Man, is it going to turn into like a little, like it's going to compress into just what?
And they got the pipes that vent the methane. It burps out of the stacks.
Up in Louisville, right outside of our house, you could smell it from our house because it was right down the road.
That sweet,
so gross.
Weird smell. The seagulls and vultures are all about it.
Man.
Hey, you can see it now kind of when you go to the south end of town on 95. You can see the mountain down there near...
it's getting there.
Yeah.
That's always been like a little hidden place that's secret, and it's like right over by Fox Lake and all that. Yeah, man. Then it got sold to somebody, then to somebody, like all this landfill stuff. That's
huge.
It's dirty business, man.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's dirty business, but it's. I mean, think about New York and these places that think about like Singapore and stuff. Some of these places that are built in modern places, if you really go underground, there's levels to this city. Like if you go to New York, there's underground everything, like tunnels,
habitation. Yeah.
Like just tunnels and tunnels from the subways, from old society, old buildings. Like you just build on top of the old shit a lot of times. Like there was one thing where they broke down, like in China, where they took like an old river and they built over top of it because it was so gross. And then they just recently broke it all open to kind of let the river flow again to try to clean it all out because they were having so many problems, bacterial health, like all kinds of health problems. It's insane. Like as we get older, we learn. I don't know. You hope.
Yeah, it's a quandary because we got a bunch of stuff we don't use, but the landfills are filled with so much. It's weird.
Like you always think that they're gonna come back one day, and come up, like that's been the whole thing when you're a kid. Like, oh, they'll come up with a way to use all that material.
Maybe so.
And
Maybe
that's what you hope so, right?
Get some to eat all that stuff and then poop it out and make soil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So down like the Marianas Trench, like way down the bottom, there's some bacterial or some microbe that they collect that put it on some shit and something crazy happens.
Put it on plastic, it gets ate quick.
Well, another crazy thing is like science is really messing with dimensional shit now.
And the genetics, the CRISPR kind of surgery.
And have you noticed that like Marvel's putting a lot of movies out about the metaverse and the multiverse and being multidimensional, You have your Miles Morales Spider-Man, where there's multiple dimensions of Spider-Man. No matter where you are, there's always a good person, hero kind of thing.
Monitor.
You see it with Doctor Strange. You see it in with your boy
so many.
what
sci-fi.
Thor? What's Thor's buddy? The little Joker guy's brother. What's his name?
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
He's got a really good show on
the prankster.
Yeah, he's got a really good show on
We art remember.
on Disney. And
seen it. I like it.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's all multiversal. And now you're seeing like a lot of clips of these scientists that are like, you got quantum computing, right? Quantum computing's coming out, and they're talking about like how like there's like relative to situations the quantum computers can kind of react.
I started watching a sci-fi recently.
Okay.
With all that, it was the one with man, I'm drawing a blank. I'll tell you the name.
It's so good. It's like it's all coming and happening, and you're seeing like more people talk because we're understanding it more. And as you understand it, your sci-fi writers, your people that are into that kind of stuff, they're going to write about it and they're going to create with it and they're going to make books about it. So Star Wars comes out, the Foundation comes out, with their Asimov stuff before Star Wars. That's inspired Star Wars.
Thinking it, trying to grasp onto what?
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings gets written, and all of a sudden, boom, it's an adaptation, and boom, like it's a part of society in a way now. You know what I'm saying? It makes you feel like it could be a simulation theory.
Okay, Jennifer Connelly's in it, and so is the dude from the new Thing.
I know what you're talking about. I know Jennifer Connelly. I know she's in one of those little futuristic.
In the second Thing movie, the guy that was one of the leads, he's in it with her, and they got the multiple realities, dimensions, and
I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
I can't.
Oh, you don't?
I don't know the movie itself. I can't picture it, but I gotta watch it now. We'll throw a link somewhere. Or send a link to me when you get home and remember it.
Yeah.
I want to check it out. I've been watching all kinds of stuff like that, man. A lot of YouTube. A lot of YouTube is getting into this quantum stuff, and it's hard not to be like to let your imagination kind of flow with these guys, because they make a really good point, and there really being multiple dimensions and multiple realities, because physics kind of, you can see it in the physics or in the quantum realm. You can see the shuttering and the multiple, and then you hear a story of somebody that disappeared for so many days and then came back.
And if it's an infinite universe, it's infinite possibilities, so they're happening. So that's weird and cool.
Part of the alien abductions.
Who knows? I mean, more of that stuff we're like, we don't know. That's mysterious, like, but we kind of know. Innately, we know, like, you get that shudder, you get that vibe.
I don't know, man. Like, what about old towns that, like, people go to, and there was, like, a mass grave situation or a massacre there? They say that when you go to Jamestown and some of these places up in Pennsylvania where, these big wars happen, where in the fields just was full of death.
Yeah,
that there's some real creepy vibes and feels that go in there if you're like at night, and some real crazy stuff that it goes down.
And on the lighter side of the same effect is the cetacean skeletons in the desert southwest of America, where the dolphin vibes out there when all the new age kind of. You ever hear about that?
I don't know. Who are these new age dolphin vibe guys?
We got the inland sea or whatever. There's a bunch of dolphin bones and stuff out west.
Yeah.
So there's vibes coming out, like you're saying.
Yes.
Where they had the bloodshed.
I'm telling you, man. It's all there. There's life all throughout. It just tells you
echoes,
of all of the temperature changes and all of the ice melts and reforms cake. And I mean, how can you not look at our Grand Canyon and just think about when the water was all the way filled up to the top?
That was made with,
because it had to be.
That was made with flapping gargoyle wings, and that's a fact.
In the middle of they just recently closed down some of the inner trails of the Grand Canyon.
The fall off trails.
because of the pyramid and all the aliens there. They need to get out and
I saw that.
do
I saw
construction
that,
and shit.
yeah.
Need to keep it hidden.
Is that
you know,
video real though?
while the drones are coming over and seeing it all and everything. It's not cool, man. I'll be fucking
It's
with 'em.
happening though.
I feel like, and we've only mapped how little of the ocean
And all the things whizzing around in it real fast.
coming out of the water out of nowhere and just flying at
I talked to a
hypersonic
dude who
speed.
was in a sub, and he said they were tracking stuff off of Washington, and he said it was, moving super fast, and it wasn't like a giant squid, and it was freaky, and
There's shit down there, man.
I believe it.
Could you imagine floating across the Pacific? Like all these airplane pilots in the World Wars and stuff and Pearl Harbor
Oh, and just have a moment.
flying across to, go attack freaking Japan or China or wherever the hell. And your plane going down, which happened fairly regularly. And then like, okay, am I going to be rescued quickly? Or am I going to go days floating? And then you got sharks just annihilating you. And God knows what else. Dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's hot. But yeah, a lot of mystery in the sea, in the sky. We don't know. Who knows?
Stuff's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we should call it a night.
Cool. I'm thankful to be here.
Same.
Che
Episode.
wants to get on the party. Sorry.
Yeah, and I saw Che at Burger Rob's the other day on Saturday.
Okay.
Man, I love Burger Rob's. Have you been there?
Is that the one on Main Street?
It's right there downtown now, right next to the tattoo place. Control Tattoo, I think, is down there. Then they have the barber shop right there, and
I have
Playalinda.
not.
Then there's the hardware store right there.
No.
Burger Rob's is downtown there right now. This weekend, let's go have some lunch, man.
Cool.
Go up there.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Their onion burger, their burgers are just the best. They have a Frito pies and stuff. God, they're so good, man.
Yeah.
Me and the kids before we went out to the beach. That's where we saw Che at,
Yummy.
and just had a great meal.
I want one now.
And yeah, we need to go do that. And told Che I was going to come over, and we're going to get the little podcast thing kind of set up for him. I know he's throwing some episodes out there, and you guys are having some fun.
Yeah.
And I love it. I just
Yeah.
love it, man. I just love the more people just putting your voice out there, putting your personality out there for people, man.
But
It's great.
We gotta bring him back here, and Colleen. I look forward to high-fiving
Yeah,
Colleen.
man. Colleen's been rocking, man. So
Yeah.
I need to talk to her and catch up since the new year. They were going to come borrow the trailer last week. They just got a new fridge.
All right.
But we'll be catching up with them and
Corey
inviting
Scott.
them over, and Corey too.
Brinko.
We have so many people to talk to
Pillar.
and
right?
and to get on here as
Jason.
time goes. We need to start, maybe each week prepping a phone call situation
Yeah.
where we get a little
That's
10-minute
good.
phone call and with somebody to kind of catch up with what they're doing.
We could, like Ryan
Uh,
tonight with the fire. That would have been cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. We got to kind of
Heated up.
heat
Yeah.
that with. I always just put that off for some reason because you never know the fumble of it. But now that we got
Ryan
like a
said it's
stable
cool.
system, we
It's
got to
ready.
do it.
Post is ready.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So next week we'll get a phone call going.
Good stuff.
Maybe give it a week or two. I know we got a lot going on, but what do you got going on your end?
This week, tracking and some housework, but a lot of tracking.
I got to see Sam from Flagman.
Yep.
And this last weekend, and then I was on their social media. Quill and all them post so much, and really good content, and it's all up in my feed. And Monica, her niece.
Yep.
I saw her post something where they were talking about we're not going to be here much longer.
Mm-hmm.
They're moving,
Yeah.
like out of the state.
To Washington State.
Wow, that's a big deal, man.
It is. I will say though, in the modern scene, you can. There's a lot of collaboration, and it's just easy to do it.
It makes a lot of sense.
It's easy, and there's so many people. He was showing me this big sea of different places that you can thrive in the industry. Like a lot of touring people just want to tour, and drum for multiple bands, or there's people playing the other ends of it, the recordings and the.
There's a lot of fire up there right now in the music industry, right?
Yeah,
It's been for a while, right? It's always been kind of a hotbed of coffee and.
There's a lot of people,
Yeah.
and it's good because they make a thing happen.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Beautiful up there.
of opportunity. Yeah.
Spent some time up in Eugene, Oregon, and some of these places. And my cousin Katie lives in Seattle, and got to get up there to see her too. So hey, well, that'll be another place for us to go visit.
Yeah.
So that's an awesome opportunity. And they're young, man. They get to go have fun, get to go try new things. I mean, Florida's getting expensive, man. It's getting really expensive to live in Florida. It's turning into that California, expensive. If you're there and you're grandfathered in, it's one thing. But if you're not coming into this market, especially with these insurance costs, it's kind of getting insane.
It's all stacked up. Yeah.
And you don't see too much of an end in sight here. I mean, with this insurance stuff.
And all the warm weather down here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a desirable place. We're not in that top list of most moved to places right now. We were for a little while there, and that's gone away big time.
A bunch of little nooks and crannies to get to, right?
It really is. It's kind of wild, too, when you look at old historical maps. I guess, like, the property through the Panhandle and through that middle part, clear with the Crestview and all that, Florida.
All right.
That used to be like an old underwater river. Or like Florida was more of an island. Does that make sense
seen
to you?
the timeline where they speed it up and they show the little peninsula, the little ridge, and then they show it growing. Yeah, I've seen that.
Because there's all the spring waters and all the underground,
it's
water
different
there,
up
and
there,
they talk and swampy and everything, and they talk about the land up there's a lot cheaper to buy acreage up there, because when it floods, that area is very water heavy, but holds a lot of water too, a lot of fresh water. It's interesting.
Yeah, I like the land up there. They get some gnarly winter spikes.
Oh yeah,
Those,
like right now.
Like you ain't growing certain
The I-10 is snow.
We have a coconut tree here.
Yes.
In North Titusville. I think Jimmy Browning planted it. It's like the tallest one around here, but that's
about as north as it gets.
Yeah, but over there on the Gulf Coast, they do have coconut trees further north than we do here.
Okay.
Because it stays a little bit warmer, but
yeah,
that's cold up there. Straight up cold.
I know my boss Jeff has had some coconut trees in his backyard. He might still have some now, but I know he planted a few and was having a real hard time keeping them alive, man.
You got to get them through, and even kind of got to get them big.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, let's call it a night.
Good stuff.
Appreciate you, T.
Back at you, bro.
See you here soon.
All right.
Daisy's in a tube top, screaming from the top of her lungs. This all ends tonight. Daddy's on the floor, he's screaming for more. Saying you're gonna be alright. Daisy's in a tube top, screaming from the top of her lungs. This all ends tonight. Daddy's on the floor, he's screaming for more. Saying you're gonna be alright. Dude, that shit's killer. Oh, dude, that was awesome.